الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي علف بالإسلام بين قلوب المؤمنين وأوجب الاتحاد وحرم التفرق في كتابه المبين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله هدى من يشاء إلى صراط المستقيم، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمد رسول الله خير داع إلى طريق القويم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الذين تحببت نفوسهم وتهدت قلوبهم فكانوا سادة المنصورين. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله تعالى وطاعته. That is, all praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. O Allah, send your prayers and peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated so that they became victorious leaders. And O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. This week we are talking about Al Aziz, which means the Almighty. And when we reference Allah, when we think about Allah, we don't have to stretch our imagination. We don't have to exaggerate. We don't have to use hyperbole when we think about the might of our Creator. When we think about all of the things that our Creator, that we can conceptualize that our Creator can do. As a matter of fact, we don't go far enough. As a matter of fact, we do not give our Creator enough credit. And Allah says it in the Quran. He says, no just estimate do they make of their Lord. No just estimate do they make of Allah. Meaning that we do not give enough credit to Allah for all that he can do. We barely scratch the surface. And sometimes it's because of our ego. But the other piece of it is that even if we removed our ego and we just tried to think on Allah, we just tried to think on the might of Allah, there is no way that we could conceptualize it. We would not even have a starting point because our minds are unable to encompass or unable to understand every single thing that our Creator has done and can do. If you just look at society, you'll see doctors. And you're like, okay, well, they're doctors. They learn the human body. They learn all these things. They went to school for so long to learn about the human body. But they went to school for all those years just to learn about the human body, not other things. And then within that, some doctors are specialists. Some doctors go to school for so many years just to learn how to take care of teeth, how to deal with skin, how to deal with hair, how to deal with the eye. And they may have taken all that time and they've only were able to specialize in this one thing, and every day they're learning something new. But they're learning something new about creation, something that was already created, something that was placed in the earth, something that was thought through that we can't even comprehend. And that's just one thing. The one thing, the human body that the doctors went so long to school to study for. One thing. But our Creator created it all. Our Creator created all those different systems. And then you have the scientists that study marine biology that have barely went anywhere. You got archaeologists, and you have all these groups of people that have dedicated their lives and their time to studying a topic that still has the ability for more information, for more knowledge to be gained. But this creator, this almighty, developed it all. Not just one piece of it. Not the human body and somebody else developed trees. Not trees and somebody else developed the earth and all the systems inside of that. Not just the earth and somebody else developed the solar system and the earth was just one piece that was placed in there. Not just the solar system by itself, but the entire galaxy and all the other solar systems inside of it. The things that we do not even know exist. Or at least no proof. No interactive proof of it. All these things Allah created. The Almighty. And where did we come from originally? Our parents. And I'm not going to get into detail. I don't need to do that. But we come from that, from an interaction with our parents, and now look at us. Living, breathing, thinking, intelligent, athletic, smart, funny. All these things that we are. And we look at what we came from. No just estimate did they make of Allah. No just estimate, no credit, full credit is not given to Allah. And even if it could be, even if we did, even if we dedicated all of our time just to recognize the things that we can visually see and interact with, and we give gratitude and credit to Allah for that, we would still miss so much. There's still so much more that we would not have the ability to understand or comprehend or even see. But Allah did. And it wasn't this process of struggling to figure out, well, how am I going to make this system? How am I going to put this together? How am I going to do all these things? Allah said be, and it was. And just like that, every single thing that all these scientists spend years and years studying just in the human body, just the skin, years and years, just to learn about it. And they still are unable to know everything. Allah said be, and it was. Al Aziz, the Almighty. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear believers, we are still talking about our Creator. We're still talking about Allah. Allah who says that no just estimate they make of their Lord. No just estimate, no proper due, no proper respect. And we may give some respect, but we can only respect what we can acknowledge. There's so much more. Allah has the ability to do so much more. Allah is doing so much more than what it is that we can conceptualize, what it is that we can see, or what it is that we could imagine that Allah is doing. If we just think about the fact that we're on a spinning rock, and if we were to just even consider the atmosphere and the fact that it's this spinning rock with this atmosphere and everything that the atmosphere does, everything that air does, all these things that are happening on this spinning rock, we'll just look at it superficially and we'll just call it a spinning rock. Not the people, not the animals, not the birds that are flying, not the cars and the airplanes and all the wondrous things that are happening on the spinning rock. We're just talking about this spinning rock. And this spinning rock is spinning at a high rate of speed. And the speed is fast, but there's gravity that keeps us grounded. There's something that keeps us from flying off and from flying away because this rock is spinning so fast. And not only is this rock spinning fast, there's a smaller rock that is circling the spinning rock. And it maintains a relatively, relatively similar distance as it spins around. Sometimes it moves a little closer, sometimes it's out a little bit. But it's very consistent that we could set time to it. We can make decisions based on it. Just the distance and the rotation of the smaller rock around the spinning rock. The same spinning rock that has not thrown anybody off yet. And this spinning rock with this smaller rock that's going around it is moving in a larger pattern. While it's still spinning, while the other one's still spinning around it, it's moving in a larger pattern. And it's not the only one that's doing this. There are other rocks that are going in other directions. Some are spinning in the same direction, some are spinning at a different angle, and they're different distances. But these distances remain relatively unchanged. And they go in this pattern, and these patterns you can make decisions off of them. You can set time off of them. You can determine the things that you're going to do with your life because of time, because of the way these rocks are spinning, at the speed they're spinning, the distance that they're spinning, and all at the same time. Everything that's on the spinning rock is not flying off because of gravity, because Al Aziz, the Almighty, thought of that as well. And not only is this spinning rock and these other spinning rocks that are spinning around this giant fireball that's just far enough that we don't burn up and just close enough that we don't freeze. Not only is that happening, these other rocks are spinning around and not colliding with each other. This entire thing is moving within another system. And we're still spinning on this rock. And we're making decisions. We're planning our life out. We're setting our schedules by the fact that this rock is spinning and going around this giant fireball. And we're not getting hit by these other rocks that are flying through the sky or flying through this space. And then the one who created us, the one who gave the scientist the intellect to want to look out into space and study all these things, just this one specific thing, not the human body, not the earth, not grass, not water, not skin, not any of these things, but looking outward into space. This creator that has given all this ability, given this intellect, create telescopes to fly thousands, millions of miles away to study this one thing, this one aspect of creation. This same creator asks us to do a thing. The same creator tells us, what do you think is more difficult to create? The same creator that we arrogantly turn our back to, that we don't listen to, that we feel that for whatever reason, our decisions are more important. This same creator that has done all of this, Al Aziz, the Almighty, Same Creator asks us to do a thing and we neglect it. To pray, to give in charity, to be kind to the orphan, to fast. All these things that this Creator asks us to do, we neglect it. But then let's go back into this spinning rock that's spinning around that nobody's flying off of, and let's take our car and let's go to work. They tell you what to wear. They tell you how to behave. They tell you when to show up. They tell you what to do. And you do it. You go to the position of attention. You stand in parade rest. But the one who created the earth that you were standing in parade rest on and not flying off and not getting hit by another planet, not flying into the sun, the one who created all that asks you to do a thing, asks you to pray, asks you to give in charity, asks you to fast, and you don't do it. But you will jump when this person, just like you, walks into the room. Let us consider who is Al Aziz. Let us consider who is the Almighty when it really counts. And that's in the next slide. So let's make sure that we give Allah his proper regard. Let's respect that Allah is Al Aziz, the Almighty. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.